So good afternoon, friends. Today in our morning class, we have studied one case study about compression molding die design. So similar kind of case studies may be asked in the examination, and you have to follow that fixed pattern which I taught you today morning. So starting from calculating volume of powder up to the dimensions of punch. And now in today's class, current class, we are going to study the next bit of the unit number 5, that is technology of transfer mold. The title of unit number 5 is study of compression molding and technology of transfer mold. So this bit may be asked for 3 marks or maximum 4 marks. What is this transfer molding? Now in unit number 2, that is the processing of plastics, we have studied number of types of plastic processing methods, starting from injection molding, then blow molding, extrusion molding, rotational molding, compression molding, transfer molding. So now it is just extended part of that transfer molding, where we have seen a figure of transfer molding like this. So I hope you are remembering this figure. This is your mold, and this is transfer pot. And then material flows through this screw. This figure from unit number 2, just I have drawn schematic diagram. You might be remembering this figure, good quality figure I taught you at that time. And then regarding this, what is exactly difference in compression molding and transfer molding? At that time I told, I repeat once again. The transfer molding is extended part of compression molding, where you can say good quality or advanced compression molding is called as transfer molding. I repeat once again, advanced compression molding, the mold parts that compression molding is unable to mold are molded by transfer molding. I repeat, the mold parts that are unable to mold by compression molding are molded by transfer mold. So this extended part, which is having some transfer pot and arrangement, is employed in the transfer molding, and it is one of the advanced development in compression molding. So transfer molding is one of the advanced development in compression molding. It consists of a chamber called as transfer pot, and there are 2 types of methods. So we are now studying technology of transfer molding. You can write down that transfer molding is advancement of compression molding. So one of the extended means good quality of the parts which you can't mold by compression molding are molded by transfer molding. That's why we are saying that it is one of the advanced development in compression molding. So it carried out by 2 ways I told. So first one is top transfer and another is bottom transfer. One minute. Top transfer and bottom transfer. So mold is closed here. In this case, mold is closed, and then material shot is kept in the transfer spot. And here mold is initially open, and then material transfer is kept in the transfer spot, and then it is transferred. At end, during the process, mold is always remain closed, but initially in this case, mold kept open and later on it is closed. In both the cases, proper clamping is employed. Without proper clamping, you will not get your product produced. Otherwise, there will be leakage of plastic metal through the gap means at the parting line of the house of the mold. So depending upon requirement, top transfer mechanism or bottom transfer mechanism is achieved. Material from transfer pot is pushed to the mold through the gating system. Gating system means there is no total gating system. This screw I showed. So that screw is used for pushing the plasticize the material into the actual mold cavity. This is your actual mold cavity where it will give shape to the component. Here you will get shape to the component. This is transfer pot and material will flow. Once it comes here, it is tightly packed, and then cooling and other thing, etc., all elements are there. And some pressure is required to push that material through the screw. That pressure ranges from 5.5 to 6.5 megapascal. This may be the part of MCQ. That's why I'm writing on board. So the pressure varies from 5.5 to 6.9 megapascal. And whatever curing period, I taught you during unit number 2, that compression molding or transfer molding is a time consuming process. It requires more time. Curing time is more. It is not as like injection molding, injection over solidification and immediately opening. No, not in that way. So here, curing time of compression or transfer molding is higher. It depends upon 3 parts. Curing time depends upon 3 parts. First is the thickest cross section, temperature of loaded material, and temperature of mold. Erase this. Curing time for transfer and compression mold is always higher. Curing time is always higher in case of transfer mold. Time depends upon first thickest cross section of the component. So your component may have number of cross sections. Out of that, what is the thickest cross section? Second is temperature of loaded material. And third is temperature of mold. So we have studied mold heating during start of the chapter, and component which you are going to produce, for that what raw material granules are required, these are also preheated. Remember this, friends. Change in the process, as like injection molding, your mold is not heated directly, you are injecting the material there, but here mold heating plays important role. So these two temperatures, temperature of loaded material means suppose you are forcing melamine or bakelite material, compression and transfer molding are used for thermosetting. Remember this. So melamine, bakelite, all these phenol formaldehyde. So all these materials temperature as well as that mold temperature and thickest cross section of the component are the important parameters which decides the curing time, total curing time of the component. Now, as I mentioned, what is this second and third point? So depends upon material. Material loaded temperature is different, and accordingly mold temperature different. So we will draw one table, so which may be the part of MCQ. So draw that table. Now I am giving the material with loaded temperature and mold. So for X material, loaded temperature should be Y and mold temperature should be Z, in that way. I hope you have noted down this. Different materials with its preheating temperature and mold temperature. So material with preheating temperature and mold temperature. First material is phenolic. Material. Its temperature is 104 to 106. In bracket preheating temperature. For that, mold should be maintained at 165 to 182. So you should maintain the mold temperature for phenolic material as 165 to 182 degrees Celsius. If material is melamine phenolic, then its heating temperature is again same. Its mold temperature varies from 150 to 170. Then granular polyester. Granular polyester 32 to 71. $154 to $182. Please draw this table. Material with preheating temperature. So what material you are keeping here, that temperature is given in the bracket, preheating temperature. And mold's temperature, what mold is maintained at temperature, that should be given here. So this is technology of transfer mold. Advantages. So first, just write in short. The parts which are difficult to produce by compression mold are produced by transfer mold. Parts which are difficult to produce by compression mold are produced by transfer mold. Second, small as well as large diameter core pins can be used. Small as well as large diameter core pins can be used. Small as well as large diameter core pins are used. Third advantage is metal inserts are easily possible. Insert, I have given example of insert. So whatever metallic part you are putting or what plastic you are putting around the metallic part, so that metallic part is called as insert. Metal inserts are easily possible during transfer molding process, and good tolerance can be achieved. So you can achieve good tolerance in case of transfer molding, and maintenance cost etc. is less. So you can achieve good tolerance as well as it is having less maintenance cost, and there is a design flexibility in the transfer mold. Design flexibility. So all these are advantages of transfer molding. Every process have disadvantage also. What are the disadvantages of transfer molding? So shrinkage during the process is non-uniform. Shrinkage during the process in case of transfer molding is non-uniform, and neat lines are likely to be occurred. Neat means that marks, neat lines are observed during the process. Here the chances that it will not fulfill the requirement, the chances of scrap generation is more. So there will be Why I am using the word scrap? And that scrap is not recyclable. Remember, you are going to use the thermosetting material. Once it is heated, it becomes hard and set. And if scrap is produced, it will not be recyclable. Remember, scrap generation is more and it will not be recyclable. And what pressure you are using, that pressure is generated by using very high tonnage pressure machines. So very high compression pressure is required for pressing it. Which components are manufactured by transfer mold? I already told. The compression and advanced compression molding is transfer molding. So your ICs, integrated circuits, then electronic switches, then connectors, plugs, electronic pins, coils, studs, and other electronic components are molded by transfer molding. I repeat once again, electronic plugs, switches, then ICs, integrated circuit boards, connectors, and other coils, studs, and other electronic components are molded by transfer molding. So these are applications of transfer molding. Okay. So in the same transfer molding only, there are two types of transfer molding. Let us see. One is plunger type and another is resin type. I hope you have written this. What is this? So plunger type and resin type molding. Here in plunger type transfer molding, you require very high pressure, and with the help of plunger, your plastic material is forced into the die of desired shape. So if you draw this figure, you will understand. It will be in two steps. See here, this is transfer pot. And with the help of plunger, you are going to force it, and this is your mold. Mold cavity. So it consists of forcing the material with the help of plunger. That's why it is called as plunger type transfer molding. Then what is resin type? It is famous with the name RTM, resin transfer molding. RTM stands for resin transfer molding. It consists of use of one skeleton. What shape you want to give, that skeleton is kept in the mold and then material is transferred. And that transferred heated mold is closed by putting reinforcement which is oriented into the skeleton. See here, I will draw the figure here. I hope you are observing this gap. So this T, in between this T, the skeleton of required shape is kept. And on this skeleton, your plastic material is flown. So reinforcement and layer of resin. So this product I will show here. So this is a reinforcement. And this is plastic component. Plastic material, layer of the plastic material. So such complications are only possible in the transfer molding. So here what reinforcement, suppose X material is kept and on that your melamine, formaldehyde materials coating will be provided. That will be reinforced by some skeleton of same shape. So in this way the processes are carried out. You can draw both the figures. Actually this is process. Here also there may be forcing with the help of plunger, but RTM is a special thing, resin type this molding process. Then next bit, main parts of transfer mold. Main parts of transfer mold. Which are the main parts of transfer mold? One by one you can write. Transfer pot. transfer pot. Then second is plunger. Then getting system. Then after getting system, heating system, cooling system. Heating mechanism, I told you, oil, steam or cartridge is used for heating. Then cooling system. Then mold cavity and ejector mechanism. Mold cavity and ejector mechanism. These are the main parts of transfer mold. Now, last bit of this chapter, what are the automations possible in this compression transfer molding process? You know that there are three concepts. First one is mechanized, then second is semi-automatic, and third one is fully automatic. So mechanized things are operated by human being completely. Mechanisms are there, but they are operated by human being. Semi-automatic stands for 50% automations are employed, and automatic stands for 100% automation. 100% automation means completely programmed. Just you have to run the program, automatically everything will operate. Now, what kind of automations are possible in the transfer molding? Why automations are required? So, for fast rate of production and improvement in the quality of product, transfer molding is developed with many automations. I repeat, for fast rate of production and improvement in the quality of product, transfer molding is developed with many automations in the different areas or operations such as material handling. So material handling process may be completely automated. So one bit was there in manufacturing process, computer applications and automations in the foundry. Similar, this small bit is there. Material handling, in feeding system of transfer pot, here you can employ the automation. The mechanism of heating, that is electric cartridge heater. So that also you can make automatic. Then feedback control system for the mold cooling. So depends upon required temperature, there may be feedback control system. And then you can use this for maintaining the proper temperature of mold and for proper cooling arrangement. And automatic pressure application of release mechanism. So how much pressure, clamping pressure and other this forcing pressures are required. Accordingly, you can use the different automatic arrangements for pressure and automatic ejector mechanism. Once your work is over, you can use automatic ejector mechanism. When you press the button, automatic pins will be operated and component will fall down. So in this way, the automations in the transfer molding are possible. So in today's class, what we have covered? In today's class, we have covered the technology in transfer mold. Then after the technology in transfer mold, we have seen advantages, disadvantages and applications of transfer molding. Then after that, we have studied the types of transfer molding, resin transfer molding, plunger type of mechanism. And at the same time, we have studied different parts in the transfer molding and automation possible in the transfer molding. There is no design of transfer molding and design parameters, as it is very complicated. That's why we have studied only design of compression molding. So this is as far as transfer molding is concerned. Question may be asked for 3 or not more than 4 marks in case of subjective. Okay, just wait. So friends, this is all about transfer molding process. Now here is the end of unit number 5. In unit number 5, whatever numerical I taught in the morning, so same kind of numerical you can try for other components. No change in the procedure. Okay. So if exam will be subjective, that may be asked for 6 marks. And now unit number 6, 7 and 8 are remaining. So our syllabus is in control. Up to 30 April, it will be finished. Now as far as unit number 6 is concerned, it is related to injection molding parameters. 7th one will be cooling of injection mold and 8th one will be applications. So from tomorrow's class, we will start with unit number 6. So for today, we will stop here. Thank you.